All right, and once again we are live. Let me just turn this extra light on here. There we go. That should look a little bit better. And let me just share out the stream real quick with people on YouTube. Or sorry, with other people on my other social medias. I'm excited about this one because we got excuse me. We got a bunch of new stuff we're going to try on this stream. We're of course going to talk about the Bad Batch like we've done before. But we're also going to try a couple new things. Couple surprises for you. All right, that's going out on Facebook. All right, and let's see. We got Jonathan here, my youngest brother. He's going to be important later, by the way. And Mr. Alan Copeland. How are you today, sir? All right, so let me real quick invite Michael to join stream. And until he does, we'll start this stream off same as we always do by doing some music. Oh, uh-oh. It says quality looks bad on my end. Like, is it grainy? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I've been having pretty bad quality streaming from up here on my PC for a while now. Connor Fuller here says, hi all, good evening and good day to you all. The Force is family. Yes, it is. The Force is family. And I do seriously hope that the quality improves. And they say, yes, it does look kind of grainy. Okay. Yeah, that explains because the pulling up the chat is a little bit sluggish today. But we're gonna persevere on through. If I have to, I'll reset my internet and we'll start this stream over. But hopefully that doesn't have to happen. All right, so is it still looking grainy? And can you still hear me okay, or is my voice clipping? Okay, he said, okay, so Connor Fuller says, sound is great though. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try turning off the camera. All right, so that should help a little bit connection-wise. How's that? I don't particularly like doing this, but it is what it is. And Alan Copeland says, gotta leave at 5:30. Okay, that's understandable. But yeah, so as soon as Michael gets here, we'll really get the. Okay, so he says it's good. All right, so I'm gonna try bringing the picture back, and we'll see what happens. All right, so camera is turned back on. So is it okay-ish quality, or has it taken a nosedive? Because I don't see any sort of low. I don't see any sort of low internet connection on my end anymore, like I did. So how's everything looking? Okay, he says, okay, so Jonathan says much better. Connor Fuller says perfect my end. All right, good. Good. So hopefully quality doesn't take a nosedive. All right. Well, let's start this stream right with some music. We'll consider this part sort of the pre-show. while we wait for Michael, as always. Tilt that down. All right. This thing, I've only had this thing a couple weeks, and it has quickly become my go-to guitar. I just need to put new strings on it because the factory ones are kind of wearing off a little bit. All right. Let's see what we got. And of course, if you guys have any requests for songs, let me know, and I will at least attempt to do them. And by the way, Connor Fuller, if you're still watching, I just saw that you shared our stream on the Twitter DM for the Jedi Masters on Echo Base. Thank you very much for that. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. She'd trade Colorado if he'd take her with him. Closes the door before the winter lets the cold in. And wonders if her love is strong enough to make him stay. She's answered by the taillights shining through the window pane. He said, I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're a rambling man. You ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. At a truck stop diner just outside of Lincoln. The night is black as the coffee he was drinking. And in the waitress' eyes he sees the same old light is shining. He thinks of Colorado and the girl he left behind him. He said, I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're a rambling man. You ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. Born for leaving. Well, it's a winding road when you're in the lost and found. You're a lover, I'm a runner. We go round and round. And I love you, but I leave you. I don't want you, but I need you. You know it's you that calls me back here, baby. I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? 'Cause I'm a rambling man, and I ain't ever gonna change. I got a gypsy soul to blame, and I was born for leaving. When I close my eyes, I see you. No matter where I am, I can smell your perfume through these whispering pines. I'm with your ghost again. It's a shame about the weather, but I know soon we'll be together, and I can't wait till then. No, I can't wait till then. All right, that was Colder Weather by Zach Brown Band, and hello to Brandon. How you doing today, man? Glad you guys enjoyed that. All right. You know what? I'm feeling a little adventurous. Connor Fuller says, absolutely beautiful, Paul. Thank you. Well, I can guarantee you this next song will not be beautiful. This next song is like borderline too high for me, but I'm going to attempt it. So this is Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. It's all the same, only the names will change every day. It seems we're wasting away. You know the place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. Sometimes I sleep, sometimes it's not for days, and the people I meet always go their separate ways. Sometimes you tell the days by the bottle that you drink. Sometimes when you're alone, all you do is think. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. And I walk these streets, a loaded six-string on my back. I play for keeps, because I might not make it back. I've been everywhere, still I've been standing tall. I've seen a million faces, and I've rocked them all. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. 'Cause I'm a cowboy, I got the night on my side, and I'm wanted, dead or alive. 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 All right. That was Bon Jovi's Dead or Alive. And as you can tell, Bon Jovi in his prime, I am not. But I do appreciate the compliment you left here, Connor, saying John Bon Who think you own that song now. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, that is not an easy one to sing for me. And Michael is in here now, so I guess we can What's up?
Well, nothing much. I just had to test fit the Jedi outfit that you got me.
And how'd it go?
It went pretty well. Pretty well.
Good. So, quick question. What's going on with the phone propped up there?
Okay, so I figured that the best way to kind of bring everybody to our live channel would be to kind of stream from TikTok as well.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, I understand. All right. Also, I did hear a little bit of echo on my end from you not having headphones on, so
Mhm.
we'll try and fix that. Okay.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
All right. And Daryl and Brandon enjoyed the song. Thank you guys. Golgo says close enough, really good. It is not easy. No, no, it is not. I can barely sing. For those that know any musical terminology, I can barely sing past a high G note. I don't know whether or not it's like G2, G3, whichever one it is, because I know it's labeled off of piano keys. But yeah, it's hard. And Michael, I think this one's directed at you.
Bro, come on. You gotta manipulate the. You gotta use the tools in your toolbox, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. And yes, Michael and I both are on TikTok. I'll probably include if it's not already, I'll include both of our links on TikTok in the chat for those interested. All right, let me readjust my camera here and pull myself closer to the desk, and we can go ahead and get started. Ooh, Daryl, here's something interesting, Michael. Rambling Canuck has karaoke Saturday night. You should come out sometime. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. It just all depends on, excuse me, with work. And of course, I don't want to miss Echo Base. So we'll see. And Jonathan says, you are cring. Cring, because you forgot the E, John. Or is it cring?
Look who's talking, by the way.
All right. All right. So let's get on with this officially now. So here is the agenda for tonight. And like I said, we are trying a whole bunch of we're trying a bunch of new things with this stream. So we're going to start like we usually do talking about the latest episode of The Bad Batch. And then we're going to go into an article talking about the recent news that Lucasfilm has hired Shamook to do all the deepfake stuff for them going forward after seeing what he did with Luke from Mando Season 2. And then I am going to do... Wait, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I'm going to do a dramatic reading of the first chapter of William Shakespeare's Star Wars. And this can only end badly. So we'll be getting into that. And then to close out the night, we're going to have guest jump-ins and we're going to play a little game. So we have a movie trivia game that we're going to try out with you guys. And Jonathan says, you're the one who plays Doom. Talking to you, Michael. And PJ, you're the one who plays Kingdom Hearts. You have no room to talk. Yes, I know. But you know what?
At the very least, I'm old enough to.
And that's not going to stop me from talking. All right, so let's get on with the Bad Batch. So I'll start this off. I definitely liked this episode better than I liked the last episode. The last episode to me was incredibly boring filler, and this episode, you could tell that they were actually starting to build toward the finale now. So, hold on a second. Brandon said something. Oh, Lord. You have not lived until you experienced Shakespeare in its original Klingon. Well, I am watching through Star Trek, the original series, and that's going to, of course, go into the movie. So if I see it in any of that, I'll, of course, make sure to keep an eye out for it. I'm sure it's hilarious. Unless it's like a fan-made thing. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. So I liked this episode more, for sure. I think it was cool that they brought Gregor into this episode. And you also finally get to see officially, I guess we'll call it the prototype of the Stormtroopers. And as an added bonus, they were using the Ralph McQuarrie armor for the Stormtroopers. In fact, let me see if I can pull that up. While I'm doing that, Michael, what did you think of this episode?
Well, I can honestly say that I'm extremely happy that they brought Gregor back. It's something that was unexpected, I will say, but
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say I'm glad that he's back just because he's my favorite clone. And so far as the clone arm, so far as the new Stormtrooper armor that they're coming out, I want to say it's interesting just because you can definitely see the, let's just say, historical influence it has from a
Yeah.
certain kind of army
That
from the
that by the way,
1940s.
hey Michael, you're having that echo again. You might need some headphones. I understand you're trying to do TikTok, but the echo is not working out. But anyways, while he's doing that, yeah, here is the Ralph McQuarrie Stormtrooper, or at least one version. Here's the artwork for it, and even back then, of course, they had lightsabers, which I thought was pretty cool. Let me see if I can find um the Stormtrooper, what they looked like in this episode. Here it is. So that if so the group here on the right of this picture, that's the armor that they were wearing in this episode, and you could tell it's a prototype of this armor, and yet still somewhat inspired by the Ralph McQuarrie designs. And I thought that was a cool little design there. And we know that this is not the first time. This is not the first time that Dave Filoni has drawn from Ralph McQuarrie's designs, because he did that a lot in Rebels. In fact, if I remember correctly, Zeb, the Lasat, that was originally Ralph McQuarrie's design for Chewbacca, and Dave Filoni recycled that design for Zeb. Is that right, Michael?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
And then Han Solo was originally going to be an alien too, just as a side note.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Michael, for the headphones. So you can go ahead and get back to what you were saying.
So, anyways, as I was saying, you can definitely see not just the inspiration from the original art, but like how the art was inspired by a certain army, let's just say from the 1940s,
Yes.
that was invaded on D-Day. Let's just say that.
Okay. Yes, exactly. So what did you think of the idea of the Republic Commandos being the guys who basically were teaching the stormtroopers how to operate?
Well, I would say from a strategic standpoint, it makes sense. And that's really all I have to really say about it, to be honest. It just makes sense.
Okay. Also, as a side note, we were talking about Ralph McQuarrie's designs. Daryl the Derelict says also the spider things from The Mandalorian. So this is season 2, episode 2. That was a Ralph McQuarrie inspiration. So again, that just goes further to prove that Dave Filoni loves using Ralph McQuarrie's original designs. And hello to Green Lantern. How you doing, man? And real quick, going back for more comments, Brandon says, "Hey Paul, reach out to Bird of Prey 5. He is as knowledgeable about real Trek as anyone." Absolutely. So far, though, I've been having a lot of fun talking about that with the Nerdporial Lifeform in his Discord, and yeah. So yeah, I think getting back to what we were talking about with the Republic Commandos, I was a little confused when I first saw it, because somehow I was under the impression that the Republic Commandos were like their own separate entity from the Clone Army and didn't even follow Order 66. But even if that was true, that's likely a Legends canon story. So I would personally like to have a little bit more clarification as to what was going on with the Republic Commandos during Order 66 in the current canon that we're in. But I don't know that I don't know that Dave Filoni is gonna go back and tell that story, unless maybe he unless maybe we see Gregor again, and Gregor tells the story of Order 66 from his point of view. Do you think he'll do that, Michael?
I would say it's most likely going to happen just because the last time we saw Gregor during the Clone Wars era was he got blown up on that one planet that was a void.
Excuse me. Exactly. And did they explain how he survived that? Because I know he also shows up in Rebels, which, as
Mm-hmm.
far as production wise, of course, came out before the Bad Batch. So how did he survive that?
I actually don't remember, or they didn't say.
Okay. Real quick, hello to Black Dragon. Thanks for showing up, buddy. And Alan Copeland says, "Bye, guys. I'm off to an ice cream social at church. Will you have fun at
Mm-hmm.
that ice cream social?" And I might probably get some ice cream myself later on in
Yeah.
the stream, but we'll see. All right, so let's see. Another thing we can talk about in this episode. Um, we need to talk about the Imperial side of that episode too, where Rampart basically officially cut ties with the Kaminoans, and we see at the very end that he found out that Nala Se was secretly transporting young clones and medical personnel off world. And so he coerced Nala Se into siding with the Empire and said, "I have need for a scientist, not a not a politician," talking to Lama Su. And then the door closes on Lama Su, and he is left in there with two of the first recruits for the Empire. I think they did that to make it seem like Lama Su was executed right there, but at the same time, we don't hear blaster shots. So, do you think Lama Su was killed there, Michael, or do you think we're going to see him, or do you think he hasn't been killed yet?
I want to say he hasn't been killed yet just because his arc isn't yet complete because we know why he's after Omega, and certainly Omega isn't going to disappear anytime soon. So
Right.
as long as that's going on, he's going to stay alive.
Okay, that makes sense. And then finally, the last thing to talk about is in this episode, Hunter doesn't make it back to the ship because he tries to jump for the ship as it's hovering next to a cliff, but falls off and gets captured by the Empire. And Crosshair shows up. And of course, he says at the very end, "I was hoping for the whole squad, but I guess you'll do." And that's where the episode ends. So where do you think that's going to go next, Michael? What do you think Crosshair is going to do?
Well, in Imperial fashion, I want to say they're first going to try to interrogate Wrecker. Not Wrecker, but Hunter. Because obviously, Empire is after the rest of the Bad Batch.
Okay.
No, but it's not going to be the kind of torture you'd expect. I would say it's more of a mental version, just because Crosshair is a
Right.
very calculating person.
Yes. See, I think something different's going to happen. I think what's going to actually happen is this is when we find out that Crosshair is going to switch back to aligning with the Bad Batch. I think what's going to happen is that up to this whole time, Crosshair has sort of been playing the part of the Imperials, but this whole time, the chip in his head got fried when he got the back blast from that one ship on Braca that burned him up, and you see the scar on the same side of his head as in as where the chip is. So I think that blast destroyed the chip inside his head, but ever since then he's been pretending to still be on the side of the Empire. And basically it's going to be at this point that Crosshair is going to be like, "Listen, man, I'm going to get you out of here. I'm sorry. I want to rejoin the team." But again, I could be wrong and Michael could be right, or we could both be wrong. So we will see what happens. So overall, Michael, let me ask you this. Actually, we have 2 episodes left. So, what would you say your thoughts have been about the show, The Bad Batch, as a whole up to this point? Like, if you were to grade it from A to F, like we do in school, what grade would you give it up to this point?
I would give it a B, just
Okay.
because it had its moments with filler episodes, especially that one with the baby Rancor.
Yes.
But then it kind of makes up for it in story. But then again, at the same time, it kind of gives us more questions than it answers.
Yes, I agree with that. Me personally, I'm going to be just a little bit harsher with it, and I'm sitting right between a B minus and a C plus for this episode. I'll put this question to you guys in chat too. If you were to give the Bad Batch show as a whole up to this point a letter grade from A to F, as we do in school, what would you guys give it and why? And for me, like I said, I'm at a very I'll say this, I'm at a very very low B minus for this episode. Um, I I like the moments that it has, because here's my thing: when this show is good, it's good. But when this show is bad, holy cow, is it bad? Looking at the episode with the Rancor, for the most part, and the filler episodes are just some of the most boring things I've ever seen. Um, hey, the old Star Wars nerd is here, and he gives it a C. It passes, but just barely. And yeah, I agree with that. Going back to what I said, when this show is good, it's really good. But when this show is bad, or when it's boring, it's the most mind-numbing thing ever. And I'll just really quick address this whole thing about Omega. I know Omega has been a very polarizing character in Star Wars, and it's you know, we could see Omega improve from where she is and become a fan favorite character like Ahsoka and Ezra have in the past. But as it stands right now, I do not hate her, but she is nowhere close to my favorite character, because I agree with Nick. I think it was Nick. No, it wasn't Nick. It was Loki that said this, that it just does not make sense that Omega is always the one saying, "But we have to save them." But you have to go save them. She'd be like, "No, you stay here and protect me because I don't want anything to happen to you." That makes more sense to me than she being the one that's always, wanting to save people. But, maybe that could all change. Like, say, for example, she's the last one standing after the finale of this show, and that changes her into something more interesting. So, that could happen. So, yeah, so overall for this show, I'd give it a very low B minus. So let's see what the comments are saying here. Brandon is saying it must be a generational thing. I barely give this one a D. I'm with Valhalla on this one. Again, Ted, the old Star Wars nerd, says C. It passes, but just barely. Daryl says, I give it a C. Too many times it went off topic. I agree with that. Let's see. Green Lantern says, honestly, mostly D, except for a few episodes, which I would give a B minus. And I would agree with that. And that's why I'm kind of settling on a very low B minus, if not a very high C plus for me. Golgo13 says, on the whole season so far, D. And I'm hoping somehow they redeem it all at the end. I agree. They could build it up to have like the best finale of any animated Star Wars show ever. And I think that would be I think that would go a long way for this show and make it worth it, at least to me, but at the same time, that's going to take quite the effort. Daryl says Dark Omega would be way more interesting. And yeah, I could see that. I wouldn't for me, I wouldn't necessarily say dark, but just changed. Like she has to cope with the idea that the people that were taking care of her are gone, and just seeing what that does to the psyche of a little girl as she grows up. Especially with her confirmed that she is basically Boba Fett's twin sister, and I think it's very likely that we're going to see her in the Book of Boba Fett, and just seeing how a grown-up version of Omega, who likely will have lost the Bad Batch, if not at the end of this season. So, and just to get off on this topic real quick, people have been asking, are there going to be, is there likely going to be a Bad Batch season 2? And the way I see it, whether there's a season 2 or not, the Bad Batch are going to die. There's no mention of them in Rebels, no mention of them in the original trilogy and beyond. So even if they manage to squeeze a second season out of the Bad Batch, at some point, the Bad Batch are going to have to die. I don't think for a minute that Omega is going to die either, because it's Disney. They're not going to kill kids. But I do not think the Bad Batch will survive even beyond a second season if they survive past the first. And so seeing how Omega would react to the death of her squad, we'll say, I think that would be very interesting to see. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, pretty much just the quote, the Joker from The Killing Joke. All it takes is just one bad day to drive even the sanest man to lunacy.
Yeah. In
And
fact,
obviously, we are going to see this one bad day to Omega, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe not immediately, but we will eventually.
Like, remember in the Batman Beyond movie, Return of the Joker, we kind of see what something like that would, basically a very similar situation to that. Because
Yeah.
in that universe, the Joker kidnaps the Tim Drake Robin and tortures him for days until Batman and Batgirl finally find him. But by the time they do, Tim Drake has become literally a miniature version of the Joker, both in body and mind. And this Tim Drake Joker kills the original Joker, but then, of course, grows up to face off against Terry McGinnis. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking? Yeah.
And that same scene, too, even if you were to watch the uncut or the edited cut, right after Tim Drake does what he needs to do, he literally breaks out in tears after
Yeah.
laughing like the Joker, just because at that point it's like he lost his mind.
Exactly. And let's see. A couple more comments. Brandon here says, for the lols, I'm going to get a Nick and Omega shirt and hang it behind me with the rifle. You should do that.
Do
And
it.
hey, you should wear it to the Echo Base Network meetup in Nashville if you go. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. Green Lantern says, I was hoping for more of a SEAL Team 6 feel with the Bad Batch, basically being that for the clones. And yeah, sorry, Omega feels out of place. I hope that changes. Yeah, I understand that, and I won't lie, I was kind of expecting the same thing too. But anyways, I think now we can get out. I think now we can change the subject from the Bad Batch. Real quick, Michael, just curious, how's the stream on TikTok doing?
I'm just kind of flipping back and forth at this point. Um, I might just quit it because I think Morgan wants to wants me to make dinner, so I might have to pop off in a bit.
Okay, that's
For
fine.
now, at least.
Yeah, if you need to pop off, I can go ahead and do the Shakespeare thing, and then when you come back, we can do the article.
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and see. I have time. She
Okay.
said about 8:45, so
Okay, that
I guess
works.
I'll go ahead and take this stuff down because I
And
won't be
hey,
using it.
and hello to Ian. How you doing, man? All right, so we have an article that we're going to talk about. This article is from IndieWire. Came out about 6 days ago. So the title of it is Lucasfilm hired the YouTuber who used deepfakes to tweak Luke Skywalker Mandalorian visual effects. A YouTuber known as Shamook has earned nearly 2 million views for his deepfake Mandalorian video. So, before we get into this, let's go back in time to December of 2020 when The Mandalorian season 2 finale first comes out. Of course, everyone absolutely loses their mind when they see Luke Skywalker come back, and deservedly so. But at the same time, like, the one thing that could have been improved, as many have said, is you could tell that that was a CGI Luke. I noticed it pretty much right off the bat. Did you, Michael?
I want to say it looks different, and I guess you could pretty much tell that it was fake because, of course, it was.
Yeah. And Jonathan, what is a deep fake? Basically, in layman's terms, a deep fake is superimposing someone's face on someone else in a way that looks very, very, very convincing. Like, more so than the CGI, like, for example, they used on Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia in Rogue One. How that happens, I don't know, but the results look really cool. And we'll look at that here in a minute. We might actually watch some of Shamook's stuff to get a feel for what he can do. And I agree with you, Green Lantern, that feels like such a long time ago when that episode comes out. Well, that's because a lot of stuff has happened since then, for good and for bad. So we won't get into any of that for now. But anyways, we're going to get into this article now. It says YouTube is full of deepfake videos that attempt to improve on polarizing visual effects in movies, but rarely do these videos actually lead to actual studio jobs. A popular deepfake YouTuber, who goes by the name Shamook, announced this month in the comment section of one of his videos that he joined the team over at Lucasfilm's Industrial Light and Magic, or ILM for short. IndieWire has now confirmed the hiring with Lucasfilm. The news is notable as one of Shamook's most viral videos is a deepfake that improves the visual effects used in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale to de-age Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker. The video has nearly 2 million views on YouTube, and I'm guessing this is the video here. We'll watch it here in just a moment. Hold on. Gotta pause it. There it is. All right, so Industrial Light and Magic is always on the lookout for talented artists and have in fact hired the artist that goes by the online persona Shamook, a Lucasfilm representative said in a statement. Over the past several years, ILM has been investing in both machine learning and AI as a means to produce compelling visual effects work, and it's been terrific to see momentum building in this space as the technology advances. As some of you may already know, I joined ILM/Lucasfilm a few months ago and haven't had the time to work on any new YouTube content, Shamook wrote in a comment this month. Now I've settled into my job, uploads should start increasing again. They'll still be slow, but hopefully not months apart. Enjoy. Shamook released his Mandalorian Luke Skywalker deepfake video on December 21st after completing work on the clip in just 4 days. So here's just an image right here. Actually, no, I'm going to find a better image of that.
I thought that was actually the link.
That's the link to the video, but I want to find an image that doesn't have the YouTube play button in the middle of it, like right there.
Okay.
So let me bring the image up as big as I can.
Yeah, and Green Lantern, by the way, while you do that, says that it still gets me every time I think about the fact that a YouTuber did better job than a whole freaking multi-million-dollar studio.
Exactly. And I agree with what Ian says here. Luke looked better than Leia. Absolutely. All right, so here's the image. So the original one's here on the left. The deep fake is here on the right. And it may not to the untrained eye look like there's any difference, but if you look closely, let's see if I can zoom this in. You can see, number one, that his eyes are a little bit darker in the original than they are in the deepfake. His eyes have a little bit more life to them in the deepfake. Not to mention, there's a little bit of blurriness around his eyes in the original that isn't there in the deepfake. That and his face in the deepfake just looks a little bit more expressive than it does in the original. Like, it looks like his face moves more smoothly or shapes itself more smoothly than it does in the original. What would you say, Mike?
Yeah, I would say it definitely looks like in the deepfake version where they literally ripped the face out of the Return of the Jedi and then put it on this one, which would make sense because this is taking place after the Return of the Jedi.
Yes. And another thing he pointed out, Green Lantern pointed this out, there's less glare on the nose. That's right. And a little bit of reflection in the eyes, too. Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying. His eyes look more lively. And Ian, funny, puts out deep fake looks chubbier. Whatever. All right, so we're going to actually watch the deep fake. We're going to watch that scene now. I hope this doesn't get taken down by copyright, but we're going to watch a little bit of that scene now and just see how he did.
This is a reaction.
Yes. So here is the scene. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to share sound. Let me try that again. Stop. Share. Chrome tab. Share audio. Boom. All right.
Are you a Jedi?
I am. Come, little one.
He doesn't want to go with you.
He wants your permission.
All right, that's enough of that we'll watch. If you want to watch the rest, I'll post the link to it in the chat so you can watch it after the stream. So, how did you think that looked, Michael? Watching it in action.
I want to say it definitely describes everything that we've been talking about previously. But so far as performance-wise, I think it did a spectacular job. Just because when it comes to deepfakes and editing, you really have to take your time to make it look and function that way.
Exactly. So here is the link to that video. If you guys want to check it out later. Also, give this guy a subscribe. Let him know that we want to see more of this. If this is the direction that Lucasfilm are going to go in, instead of CGIing a face, they're going to deep fake it. Give this guy a subscribe, show him some love, and just let him know that we support him, because we absolutely do support him. In fact, I'm going to subscribe on the Star Wars channel, on the Star Wars Guys channel right now.
Yeah, me too.
So, yep, there is subscribe, and I have liked the video.
Yeah. After all, as we say in the Star Wars Guys, the Force is family.
Exactly. And when part of that family creates something, you support them. Green Lantern says to Connor Fuller, I can understand that, but still, like, for real, one little bitty YouTuber can do a better job than a company that has billions of dollars worth of resources. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And actually, I just realized that's a reply. So here's what he has said. So here's what the conversation said. Still gets me every time that I think about the fact that a YouTuber did a better job than a whole friggin' multi-million-dollar studio. And that is a fair point. Connor Fuller says, I'd argue back saying that they had to do it under cloak and dagger. Others had the template then to work from. Granted, I'm biased that I was just happy to get it. And I don't blame you, man. We were all so happy to see Luke come back, especially seeing him after what they did to him in The Last Jedi, which we won't talk about. Green Lantern. And then I read that. And yeah, I think Connor Fuller puts it best here for a lot of us, if not all of us. He says, oh yeah, and agree, it's so much better. I suppose I was just starved of Luke for over 30 years. And I can understand that, because you have to, as cool as that moment was, sometimes you do have to put aside the excitement, take off the rose-colored glasses, and if there's a part of it that could have been a little bit better, mention it, so that it does get better. So let's talk about this. Where do you think, Michael, if they're hiring this guy to do deep fakes, number one, do you think they're going to go back and actually let him deep fake officially that scene into The Mandalorian Chapter 16 and re-release it with the new effects?
I honestly don't know in that case, because for one thing, we could always say that it would be easy, but then again, it'd be relatively difficult to pull that episode and re-release it. But then again, it's Disney, so I really can't give a clear answer in that case.
Right. But here's the thing, though. Star Wars has already done this once before. Because if you remember, you and I grew up seeing Episode 1 for the longest time with CGI Yoda. But that's not how the movie initially released. They initially released with a puppet Yoda.
Yeah.
But the puppet Yoda that they used just did not look good compared to what they used in the original trilogy. So later on, George Lucas decided to re-release Episode 1 with CGI Yoda, and of course use CGI Yoda for Episodes 2 and 3, which I would say was a great thing, especially, getting to see Yoda use a lightsaber. So I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that they could re-release, Mando Chapter 16 with these new effects, especially if they do it around the same time as the special behind-the-scenes look at that episode and bringing back Luke that they're going to be doing in a couple weeks. Let me look at when that's going to be exactly.
Yeah, while you do that, Green Lantern also goes to say that the puppet kind of freaked him out, and then Ian says that the Yoda was great in the prequels. And kind of going off of Green Lantern's comment, I want to say, and don't really quote me on this, and if you know more about it, then feel free to let me know. Wasn't the puppet that they used for Yoda in Episode 1 like a rejected version of the final puppet from Episode 5?
I don't think it might have been, but I also heard the same thing about the puppet Yoda that they used for Episode 8, which explains why that one looked the way it did.
Yeah.
So it could have been.
Yeah. But then again, the sequels were just using more practical effects than CGI, which in some cases is a good thing. And I would say, even though Episode 8 was what it was, I didn't really have a problem with it.
Yeah. And by the way, I just looked this up. Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian making of the season 2 finale is going to be on Disney Plus August 25th. So imagine around that time, number one, imagine if during that episode they announce officially on camera that they have hired the guy that deepfaked Luke and they actually introduce him in that special. And then around that same time, they re-release Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 16, with the new effects. I think that would be the best way to capitalize off this episode of Disney Gallery. So hopefully good things are coming from this new hire that they did. And the second thing I want to talk about is, what else do you think they could do for deep faking? Because if they can bring back, Coach has brought this up a couple times, but if they can bring back Luke in this manner, they could also bring back Han and Leia. Because let's face it, one of the biggest crimes the sequel trilogy committed, whether you like them or not, one of the biggest crimes the sequel trilogy committed was they never had a scene in all 3 movies that had Luke, Han, and Leia together. But with this new technology at their disposal and this new hire that they brought in, we could get that scene again. Because, let's face it, this is the only way we could get it back. Unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed away in 2016, and Harrison Ford is absolutely 100% done with Star Wars. And Mark Hamill, at best, is a maybe. But if they deep fake Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher's faces onto a body double and get someone that can do a spot-on impersonation of Luke, Han, and Leia, then there you go.
Yeah. I guess the question is, what would be Harrison Ford's reaction to it?
I think he'd be cool with it. Especially, I think personally, I think he wouldn't care as long as he didn't actually have to do anything.
Yeah. In fact, let's bring it up in the comments. What do you think Harrison Ford would react to if they deep-faked Han Solo?
Well, Green Lantern automatically says, I personally would be okay with a deep fake of Luke, Han, and Leia if it's done right. And yes, that's the key. It has to be done right. Ian says, and they really didn't treat any of those characters the way they should have. That is true, but that's a whole nother can of worms that I don't want to open right now. We've already spoken at length about that. Connor Fuller says Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewie. Yeah, that is a good point. And Lando. You know, the scene at the end of Return of the Jedi, you see Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, 3PO, R2, and Lando all in a big group together, pretty much just smiling at the camera as Ewoks dance around them. If we get some sort of reunion shot with all those guys again, that would make it all worth it to me. Ted the Old Star Wars Nerd says, as far as I know, he hasn't signed his likeness away. That said, if you pay him, he won't care. And that is true. You will have to pay these actors, or in the case of Carrie Fisher, pay their family to use their likeness. And honestly, I think the biggest hang-up, because we do have to mention this, I think the biggest hang-up to this, or the biggest hurdle, would be getting the family of Carrie Fisher to sign away her likeness. Because I remember that bringing Leia back into Episode 9 via CGI was an option that they had considered at one point, but they didn't necessarily want to do it at that time, or the family didn't want them to do it. But maybe that could have changed. And Green Lantern says, I wouldn't be surprised if someone interviews Harrison if they did a deep fake, and he's just like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. All right, so that is the article. And like I said, I hope good things come from that. So, Michael, if you need to go ahead and cook dinner now, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and get into Shakespeare, Star Wars.
Yeah. I should be fine for about another hour, though.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
actually, tell you what. Then let's do this. Let's go ahead. And I'm gonna put the StreamYard link in chat, and let's bring some people on, and let's see what you guys have to say about all this. So here is the link. I'll be right back. And then we'll bring some people in.
So as you all are kind of joining in the stream, kind of some things that I've really been up to is that I actually wanted to show you, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted to wear it or not. But PJ actually got me a Jedi outfit finally. Now I might film it later just because there's a kind of wanted to give it a proper introduction, if that makes any sense. And also, I've been thinking about making an original character. And so, once you kind of see this new Jedi outfit, I'll kind of let you bounce around some ideas. And then, once once the whole thing is... Actually, let me see if I can do this. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this instead. I'm going to pretty much share the picture of myself with my Sabi saber. Now, this is actually my white saber.
All right, so we got Ian in here with us. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
You're a little quiet.
A little quiet. Let me turn my mic volume up. Audio. All right. Is this making any difference?
You're a little louder.
A little louder? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll max it out then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
And John, if you want to join, sure.
Yeah. All right. So Green Lantern, I'm actually not sure of who my person is, though I've thought about a new Jedi Temple Guard, but like new as can be. And so after Order 66, he can be like, I don't know, he can be like a Jedi who hasn't gotten over it. Order 66. So here's me with my white saber.
Oh, that was just before stream, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, I wasn't expecting you to actually put that on so soon. How does it fit?
A little tight, but I'll live.
Okay, so I have to tell the story of how Michael got this, because this Jedi outfit that he has was originally mine. So I got this when I was stationed overseas in Bahrain, and I had this specifically tailored to me. Of course, that was 50 pounds ago. So it's too small for me now. But I thought I'd give it to Michael because, number one, I have one now. And number two, he looked to be roughly the same size as I was when I had it tailored to me, and he'd get more use out of it than I would. So I gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Michael, like I said, just needs some cleaning, just needs some ironing.
Yeah. But I just wanted to test fit it to make sure that it worked.
John, I already said yes, you can join the stream. The link is right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to test fit it to make sure it all fits. It does. And I'll probably put it through the washer either tonight or another day.
And real quick, Michael, this Green Lantern said something for you.
I actually do not have a Temple Guard helmet. I was actually thinking about this. So basically what happens is that he gets his yellow lightsaber, and just as he was about to put on his helmet, that's when Order 66. Shut up. Your opinion doesn't matter. But basically, as he's putting on his mask or he's getting ready to get in uniform, that's when Order 66 happens. And of course, out of a panic, he basically drops it and does what he can to defend himself, eventually running away to basically save himself.
Okay. Fair enough.
Right. So I'll go ahead and just stop streaming while sharing that. And
all right.
That's basically it.
Yeah. And tell you what, Ian, before we get into the discussion, why don't you play us something?
That's assuming y'all can hear it.
Let's test it.
Hello, everybody.
I hear it a little bit. Hey, John.
All right. Tell me if this makes a difference.
It's
Probably
a little
I'm gonna
quiet.
leave the stream real quick and try and get the camera to be sideways.
Okay.
Is that any better?
Yes, that's better.
All right. Let me know if I start fading out.
Okay. Play the same thing that you showed me this morning.
Oh crap.
All right, you faded out.
Yeah, I figured. It fades back when I start talking, doesn't it?
Yes, it's. I'm telling you, man, it has to be StreamYard and their anti-background noise stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
There's no way at all to turn that off.
Unfortunately, not.
Okay.
At least not that I know of.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Green Lantern, that's a bad joke, and you should feel bad about that.
I wonder
I'm
what
just
would
kidding,
happen
man.
if you put the mic not necessarily next to your guitar, but just a bit closer so that it would seem like StreamYard is thinking that your guitar music is like the main source of the sound.
All right. I can try putting my camera next to it.
John, were you
Yeah.
saying something?
I said I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But of course, don't do anything that would seem like it would mess with the equipment that we've got going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and experiment here, y'all go on about your business or whatever. I'm gonna
Yeah.
Green Lantern, be quiet.
Let's see. I don't know.
So
All right.
I know. I know. It was a good joke, but still, just that moment of her just doing that in the middle of the Gina Carano stuff, just yeah. And hey, we got Black Dragon on here. How you doing, man?
Yep.
I like the picture of Ahsoka that you have in your background. That's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love that.
I've got 2.
Awesome.
Yeah. By the way, when Green Lantern makes that joke,
All right.
basically he's trolled you.
Speaking of backgrounds,
Well-
I gotta show you guys something real quick before we start the discussion. Something I literally just pulled out of my storage unit today.
well, really, what's been going on with me right now is I
So,
redid my.
There you go, Paul.
Pulled
There we
out of
go.
my storage unit today. It is a poster board.
There you go, Paul.
Oh, I like that. That is nice.
That's very sweet.
But here's something for my background. It's a
Ooh.
poster board for Return of the Jedi. I want to say I got this in 2016 from Target. And I thought, you know what? My wall could use a little bit of decoration, so I decided to get this. And I can't lie, I was just a little bit tempted because I didn't know if I wanted to hang it up yet. I was a little bit tempted to do a giveaway with this, but then I thought, you know what? No, I'll just keep it. So yeah, I'll put that back on the wall later. All right. So, what do you? First off, anything we talked about up to this point is on the table to talk about. We can talk about the Bad Batch. We can talk about Shamook getting hired at Lucasfilm, or if you guys have something that you want to bring up, you know, whatever you guys want to talk about. So, John, you're our brother. You can go first.
Well, I recently redid my gaming setup.
Say what?
I recently redid my gaming setup. Michael and
Oh, yeah,
TJ
that's
have
right.
seen it.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I show that on camera?
Sure.
Right. Let me do that.
And Green Lantern
So-
says that is some awesome art. Thank you, man.
I got
It is. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I got the controllers and the switch dock and the N64. And down here, I have my VCR plus DVD player. And here's the
Oh.
TV.
Okay. So yeah, it's a pretty simple setup, but it works.
Yeah, it's pretty functional.
Okay. By the way, John, just curious, are you speaking directly into your phone, or are you using the microphone in your headphones?
I'm using my earbuds.
Okay. Just curious. All right, so
Alright, I am.
anything else you want to talk about, John?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Ian, anything you'd like to share about what we talked about?
Well, I am kind of curious. Is it a definite whether they're going to release another season?
No.
Of the
No.
Bad Batch, no.
Okay.
No, they've
In fact-
always said that it's always going to be one season. Now, I'm hoping that they do continue it on, but
Yeah.
we'll just
Okay.
have to see where this leads.
Especially when there's so many questions that need answering.
Here,
'Cause
Mike, I'm
it's-
gonna let you handle this for a while. I'm gonna hang my picture back up. Be right.
Yeah.
It seems like they would not introduce Luke again, or reintroduce him rather, to that extent, unless they intended to use him later.
Yeah. Even if it was like a couple scenes where you see him training Grogu, those scenes are still going to be important and still impact the story. Even if Luke wasn't himself going to be such a prominent character, he would still be present to affect the stories of Grogu and the Mandalorian.
I'll
would
be
say.
honest with you. I think that's what the fans want to see most is more Luke.
More
Give
Luke.
us more Luke. You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
whether that happens or not is another situation altogether.
Well, to be honest, I can let go of Grogu now. I think he has served all of his story purposes. If they bring him back just for the memes, I won't really like it. But if they bring him back because they have a story to tell, I'm all for it.
Well, John, Grogu was even a meme.
Oh.
He literally blew up and became a meme.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys were talking about bringing back Baby Yoda.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But it started off as pretty much what the fans want, i.e., bringing Luke back.
Right. Okay. Ian, anything else you want to share?
No, I'm good. We can move on to somebody else if you want.
Okay. John, what's on your mind?
Not a whole lot. Just been busy today looking up parts.
For Mama Bear's computer?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh yeah, it's been a nightmare.
Wow. So like what's like the one part that you're waiting on right now?
It's been one thing after another. I mean, I ordered. Basically, I have a power supply, but the power supply crapped out on me.
Oh, okay.
So I bought a new power supply from Newegg.
Okay.
And when it got here, it didn't have the cables.
That's weird.
And I sent them an email, says, hey, you didn't send a complete power supply. It's missing the cables. And basically, I got an email back that says, oh, sucks to be you.
We have your money now.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yep.
So I
All
actually,
sales final.
what I did was I fired off an email to Roseville, which was the power supply manufacturer, and explained to them and sent them screenshots. Here's the screenshot of what I purchased. When I sent them the email, they sent me a different screenshot than what I had, trying to say that the reason they're saying that it's not their problem is because they're saying they listed it as open box, and open box is not guaranteed to have everything in it.
Right.
Yet my original screenshot shows that it was showing new. But what they sent me was, oh no, this is open box, so there's no guarantee. Well, that's not the way you originally listed it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Green Lantern here says, "Wow, guess I'm not using Newegg anymore."
That's basically what I'm not going to order from Newegg anymore. Not over that.
Yeah, that's
So I shot an email off to Newegg, to Roseville, and explained to them what happened. Hey, I know it's not your fault. You have no obligation to take care of this problem, but this is what happened. And if you guys could send me the cables, that would be great. Well, they sent me back an email about 2 weeks later. It says, hey, we've looked into all this and we see that you're right. We're going to go to our warehouse and we're going to send you out the cables if we have them.
okay.
That was the big, they're not sure. We can't guarantee that we have them in stock. So if we have them, we're going to ship them to you. Well, that was about 3 weeks ago.
And you haven't received anything.
And I haven't received anything. So I'm just going to order another power supply.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And then I wanted, hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it.
I
Okay, can you guys see that?
It's a little tiny, but yes.
That's the case that I wanted to get for her.
Okay.
It's got an open window on the side, and then it's got a mesh front because
sorry about that, everybody. I was just addressing something.
Wait a minute. We lost Black Dragon. Yeah, Black Dragon. I don't know if you can hear this, but you just dropped from stream.
He'll probably be back in here.
Yeah,
Eventually.
he'll come back. But while he's coming back, that that story he was telling about receiving a product that didn't have. Oh, there he is.
yeah, I went to shut down the screen share and shut down the whole thing.
And now we lost Jonathan. people dropping like flies on here.
Well, like I said, it's got the open side because I purchased. I want to put these in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're RGB fans for case fans.
Yeah.
Nice.
That way, when she turns on the computer, it's all sorts of, it looks nice.
Yeah.
So that's the case. I wanted that particular case, and I went through 4 different companies. And I purchased. Matter of fact, one of them was Newegg. When I bought the power supply, I also bought that case.
Yeah.
And I got an email about a day later that says, "Oh, we're sorry, this is out of stock. We're refunding your purchase price." I actually had that with 3 other companies. I would purchase it. They'd say, we've got it. Okay, I want to buy it. And then, within a day or so, I get an email. "Oh, we're sorry, it's actually out of stock." Through 4 companies.
Wow.
I finally got one coming. It should be here Monday or Tuesday.
Wow.
But it's it's all those, little things that are being a pain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that. Me and Ian, being in the music world, ordering stuff online is very similar to ordering things like that for a computer. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story that I had kind of similar to this, but wasn't quite as big a deal, but I kind of know what you're talking about. So there was one time that me and Ian went to a guitar store. Basically, we went to a Guitar Center in a town called Fairfax, which was, I'd say, about, what, 2.5 hours from here, Ian?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. And we went because I wanted to trade in 3 of my electric guitars on one electric guitar that could do pretty much what the 3 of those could put together.
Okay.
And so the trade went through. I was able to get the guitar, but there was a specific part that it was supposed to have. I'll bring up a picture of it real quick.
Actually, I have it right here.
Oh, you do?
So yeah, the whammy bar, right?
Right, but I'm trying to
Is that
bring
what
up
you're talking about?
I'm trying to bring up the picture of my guitar with the whammy bar it's supposed to have.
Oh, okay.
So basically, it was supposed to have a gold whammy bar, but the one hanging up on the wall in Guitar Center did not. And I'll let's see, which one is it? Here it is. All right, so here is basically my electric guitar right here. This orange one. Wait, no, that's blue. Yeah, this orange one. And this bar sticking up off the bridge, that's the whammy bar, and it's gold in this picture. That's what it's supposed to have. But for some reason, the one that was hanging on the wall in this Guitar Center, they lost the whammy bar. Now by policy, any guitar that comes with a whammy bar, the whammy bar is taken off before it's put on the wall in Guitar Center because people have been known to steal them.
Right.
But somehow the whammy bar got lost in the back somewhere, and they had to give me a black one that likely came from a different guitar. And it works just fine, but at the same time it's like, why couldn't I have the one it's supposed to have? But then again, I'm going to be upgrading the bridge anyways, so it really doesn't make that much of a difference. And real quick, quick shout out to Solonic for joining. How you doing? I think this is the first time I've seen you on stream, so welcome if this is your first time. And yeah. All right, so we're going to try something new on stream, and Ian and Black Dragon, we're really going to need your help with this. So we have a movie trivia game, me and Michael, that we want to start doing on stream, and you guys are the contestants. And so here's what's going to happen. Me and Michael each have 3 decks of cards that have questions on them for 3 different categories. The categories are Oscar winners, comedy classics, and action movies. John, my brother, is going to be the scorekeeper. So here's the rules. I'm going to ask each of you a question, and each question is going to be worth 10 points. But if you get the question wrong, the question bounces to the next person, and that person has the chance to not only earn points of their own, but steal whatever points you were going to be earned. So say, for example, Ian, you got a question wrong. You lose the opportunity to earn 10 points, but Black Dragon can earn 20 points. And if we were to have more players in here, it would continue to stack where 30, 40, 50, etc. So we're going to try that. In the future, there will be a prize for this. There's not a prize tonight because this is sort of a test run, but we're going to give this a shot. So let's see. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 20. So Ian and Black Dragon, what number do you have? This will decide who goes first.
17.
Okay.
12.
Ian won.
Okay.
The number was 16. All right, Ian. So there's going to be a total of 10 questions we're going to ask, and me and Michael are going to take turns asking. So, which category would you like? Action movies, comedy classics, or Oscar winners?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do so bad at this.
You and me both.
What are the
I will-
categories again?
Action movies, comedy
Okay.
classics, and Oscar winners. And I'll say one more thing too while you're thinking about this. Of course, I trust you guys to play fair. No looking it up. No looking to chat to help. Either you know it or you don't.
Yeah, I can't see the chat from where I am in StreamYard, so that's
Yeah, I've got my chat shut down. I'm in StreamYard, so it's just the private chat.
Perfect.
Let's do action movies.
All right. Hold on. Okay, so action movies. And real quick, Green Lantern says, can we answer in the chat?
Why not if we're not looking at the chat?
Sure.
Yeah, I can't
Yes,
see
if
it
you-
either.
Yes, you can answer in the chat if you want. But like I said, I know you can't see it, but just for the record, no looking. All right, so here is your question. What is the name of Eddie Murphy's character in the Beverly Hills Cop film series?
Oh man.
And I'll say this real quick. If neither of you can get the answer,
Oh, I already know what it is.
Yeah. But for future reference, if no one can get the answer, we're just going to move on. I'm not going to say what the answer is. That way we can recycle the question for later.
Right.
Okay. Makes sense.
So I'll ask it again. What is the name of Eddie Murphy's character in the Beverly Hills Cop film series?
Yeah, okay, so I don't know. I was thinking action movies, not action shows, so okay. I don't know. Black Dragon gets
Okay.
that one.
Black Dragon, what you got?
Axel Foley.
Correct. So that's 20 points to you.
Yeah. And it looks like Connor in the chat also said Axel Foley, so good job
Yes.
for that.
Good job.
Good to him.
All right,
I
Mike,
had to
your-
think a minute, but it took a minute to get here. It's
gotcha.
been a while since I've seen those movies.
I haven't seen them.
Matter of fact, in the third one, the amusement park director made a character called Axel Fox.
Don't make me sing it. Don't
Watch
make
out
me
for
sing it, 'cause you
fantasy!
All right.
No.
Actually, Jonathan, that's not the No-No song anymore. There's a new one. Oh, hey, Sam Aon is here. How you doing?
Yeah.
Too bad.
And of course, Rhiannon's here. All right, Michael. So it's your turn to ask a question, and it's Black Dragon's turn to go first for the question.
Okay, so Black Dragon. The categories are action movies, comedy classics, and Oscar winners. Pick your poison, basically.
Comedy classics.
All right, so here is the question. What U.S. state does Sandra Bullock's character represent in the Miss United States pageant in Miss Congeniality?
And real quick, Michael, if he gets the answer, make sure you put this card to the side. That way, it's not in play again.
Okay. And
God, I want to say Nebraska, but I know that's wrong. But that's going to be my answer.
All right. And of course, chat, feel free to answer if you want, but Nebraska is not it.
I didn't think it was.
It's not the answer. So I guess I'll put it back into the...
Does Ian? Hold on. Does Ian know? Because the answer, the question
Yeah, it
bounces
goes
to Ian
to-
now.
All right, Ian, what is your answer? Do you want me to repeat it for you?
No, I know the question. I was just wondering if I could have 49 guesses.
One.
Like I said, either you know it or you don't.
I don't.
Okay. So yeah, Michael, shuffle that one back into the deck.
All right.
All right, Ian. Again, comedy classics, Oscar winners, or action movies.
Let's go action movies again. See if I
Okay.
can-
Real
see if I
quick,
can redeem
Robert
myself.
Pearson. Yep. Real quick, Robert Pearson says, just a quick in and out to say hi. Sam Aon, hope you are recovering well. Always remember the Force is family. Absolutely.
Yes.
And every time you pop in here, Robert, I'll say it. Thank you for coming up with that slogan for us. It's a really good one. And Sam, Sam, if you could just real quick post an update in the chat for how you're doing, because I would love to know. All right, action movies. All right. You should get this one in. Which film follows a group of high school students calling themselves Wolverines fighting off a Soviet Union invasion?
Oh wow, this rings a bell. Yeah. Oh shoot. Oh man. Oh great,
Good.
Sam.
That's good. That's good to hear, Sam.
Yes, it is.
I'll give you a quick hint. They did a remake of this movie with Chris Hemsworth
Yes, they
and
did.
Josh Peck.
So it is a movie. It's not a show.
It is a movie.
Okay.
All of these should
The
be movies.
the original movie was Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
And what was it? Leah Thompson and Jennifer Grey.
If you don't know,
Okay.
man, just say. Do you know?
Let's see. I was gonna say something, but it's not it. So no, I don't know.
Okay. All right, Black Dragon, put him out of his misery.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, correct.
Oh, that's weird. So I know the plot, but I don't know the title because I've never heard of that title before.
Yeah. Basically, Russians and Central and South Americans invade the U.S. and a bunch of high school students fight back.
Dude, we should do music trivia after this, so I don't have to look so stupid.
I'm pretty sure you and I would be the only ones that know what we're talking about with that.
Yep, probably.
Especially as obscure as our music tastes are.
Well, then you and I should be the contestants.
And if we were to do video games, I would be the winner, most likely.
And real quick, Sam says Red Dawn was one of my all-time favorites. I have seen both versions of Red Dawn. I never finished the old one, but I've seen the new one all the way through. But I agree, the old one's better.
They're different.
All right, Mike. Your turn to ask. Black Dragon's turn to answer.
So, like we said, action, comedy, and Oscar.
Let's go. Let's stay with action.
Okay. What is Bruce Lee's character in Enter the Dragon?
And I should know this one. Because that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And I can't think of his name. Of course, 5 minutes
later,
after we're done with this, I'll remember it. But I'm going to say I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that question blank because I don't know either.
All right. You're all sure? You don't know?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Just put it off to the
right.
side so you can use it another time.
All right.
All right, Ian. Action movies, comedy classics, Oscar winners.
Let's do
Did
comedy
Black
classics
Dragon
again.
get that right?
Comedy classics?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he didn't, John. He both of us missed it.
All right.
And I think Sam
I
Aon
don't-
is trying to answer that, and that's not the right answer either. He says Han.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
No, that's who he fought was Mr. Han.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ian, what is the full name of the first film in the Austin Powers series?
Okay. Was it We're No Angels?
No.
Okay.
I thought
Black
it was
Dragon?
International Man of Mystery.
Correct. It was Austin Powers,
Ian, you
International
need to
Man of
get some
Mystery, so
points
you got
on
it.
the board.
Yeah,
That's
Black-
what I'm saying, John. We need to have like a music or guitar contest or something because I'm not doing very well. And
I'm sure you'll get. I'm sure you'll
Well,
get.
being I
something.
have no talent for music, I sit down and watch movies.
Right.
yeah, see, I don't sit down and watch movies, so there you go. Oh, it's obvious now. So
All right, Michael and Black Dragon.
All right. So what'll be the topic for the day?
You choose.
Let's go
We
with
haven't had-
comedy.
We haven't
Okay.
had an Oscar winners question yet.
Okay, we'll go with Oscars
Okay.
then. All right. So let's see. Who was the first African American woman to win an Academy Award for Best Actress? And of course,
Repeat
chat.
the question.
Who was the first African American woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress? And of course, chat, feel free to answer if you want.
I'm not sure. I'm going to say I don't know.
All right. Ian?
yeah, I don't know either because awards are not anywhere unless they're music awards.
All right.
I don't
in
know
that
anything
case,
about that.
Put it back.
All right, Ian. Pick your category.
Let's do action again.
Action. Okay. All right, you should get this one. In
Every
the
time
Hunger
you
Games.
say that, I get it wrong.
In the Hunger Games, what district does Katniss Everdeen represent?
I have never seen the Hunger Games.
You have
So-
sisters, and you've never seen the Hunger Games.
Yes.
I've never watched
But then-
The Hunger Games either.
Yeah.
All right, fair
So
enough.
I'm clueless, dude.
All right, fair enough. But then again, I guess
The
I really
previous
can't say
question-
anything because
I want to say it was Nichelle Nichols. But we're beyond that. It's
yeah,
like I said, usually after the question's gone is when it comes to you.
right. This is going pretty
Yeah.
well so far.
That wasn't
All right,
it,
Mike.
though. That wasn't it.
Okay.
All
right,
right,
Mike.
so action, comedy, or Oscars?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it's your turn.
Oh, I thought it was Ian's turn. Comedy.
All right. And what year was As Good as It Gets released?
I want to say 1986.
That's not it.
Okay.
Ian?
I'm gonna shoot 1988.
Nope.
Okay.
Real quick, John. I'll send it to you in Discord.
All right, so
All
I
right,
guess
so-
we move on from that question.
Yeah, let me get Jonathan back in here real quick. I don't know why he keeps dropping off.
Is he streaming via phone?
Probably, yeah.
That
He
might be
doesn't
why.
have a co- He doesn't really.
StreamYards
have a computer.
does not like mobile.
No, it does not. All right, Ian. Category.
I think I have the best shot at action, so let's stick with that.
Okay.
As little of a shot as I have, I'll stick with action.
Right. All right. Which film is set on the distant moon of Pandora?
Real quick, is Pandora an actual place?
No,
Yes,
it is
it's-
not. Well, in the
Well,
movies it is.
Technically. It's also a part of Disney's Animal Kingdom, right, Michael?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did
So-
anything change from when I was last on here?
Not really.
No,
Yep.
I can't think of the
Alright.
actor's name, but he played in Terminator Genesis. Sigourney Weaver was in it. Big, tall, blue aliens. I'm trying to help him as much as possible.
Yeah, because I need it.
It's Space Marines. The one lieutenant was a nutcase with had his half his head scratched off. The one guy was in a wheelchair.
So it's a movie, not a show, right?
Yes, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
And
It's a
he had
movie.
to climb in a pod, and they made characters so they could interact with the local populace, who were
Okay.
like 20-foot tall blue creatures with tails.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know this one.
I want to say.
Don't
I
say
want
anything,
to say.
John.
I want
I
to say
won't.
Star Trek, but I know that's not.
No,
a movie.
no.
That is incorrect.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No,
All
the
right.
name of the movie is the same thing as what my screen is.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, not necessarily the screen, but there's when you make a picture for yourself to put on a screen, what's it called?
Just go ahead and say it, Black Dragon.
An ID picture?
Avatar.
Oh.
Correct.
Boy!
It looks
You want
like
Black Dragon the
Green
points for
Lantern
that?
and
Wait.
Sam got it right too.
Avatar,
Yes.
as in the Last Airbender?
No,
No.
No.
That's two
no,
different
this is a
things.
live-action movie.
Oh, okay.
Matter of
The Last
fact,
Airbender, the Last Airbender
the-
was a live-action movie.
Oh, was it?
It
I thought
was.
it was a cartoon.
No, it's
The
a
Last
it is
Airbender
live
was a
action.
bad live-action adaptation made by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, it was not very
Emphasis
good.
on bad.
And I've heard of the show, but haven't watched it.
All right. Michael,
So,
last
who do I
question.
give the points for that?
Black
That's
Dragon.
John.
All right, so let's see. So, action, comedy, or Oscars?
Let's go with action again.
All right. Let's see. Should I give him an easy one off of this card, or should I give him the harder one?
Up to you.
Makes no
right.
difference.
All
If
right.
I'm going to
well-
get it right, I'm going to get it right. If I'm going to get it wrong, I'm going to get it wrong.
All right. Well, if you get this wrong, then there's probably something wrong. Which film does the line "Say hello to my little friend" appear in?
Scarface.
Exactly.
Correct.
We have
All
to
right,
give you at
so-
least one easy one.
Yeah. 10 points for Black Dragon. All right. So I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Black Dragon, you win in an absolute slaughter. John, what's
Yeah,
his
I only
final
need
points?
to- 80
What's his final
to
points?
0.
80 to
0.
0. Wow. So yeah,
Ian,
that
You
Don't
had
you
a
say a
bad
word.
time.
Don't you say a word.
word.
Well, like I said, it's a matter of
Say
the
word.
background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing though.
See, and if we had a music trivia, that would be exactly opposite.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Black Dragon. Ideally, for this to work, I want to get people in here like you, Daryl, Coach, and Nick. You know, people that see the same sort of movies that you do,
Right.
so that this could be a little bit more competitive. So tonight was the trial. Next week, we're gonna do something for real, and I'll even arrange a prize.
This was pretty
Okay.
much a gladiator fest.
Yeah.
The
But anyways,
lion won.
Yeah, but anyways, thank you guys for playing that and helping us sort of fine tune how we're gonna do this. So, anything else you guys want to share before we pop you out?
No, it was just fun being here. Glad to help out.
Yeah, glad to be the guinea pig for what could be future fun times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Green Lantern says, I know a lot of movie trivia. Can I write for you guys? Yes, please. If you can make some movie trivia beyond what we have on these cards, that would be greatly appreciated, because between the three because each category has only 100 questions, and so we're gonna try and make them last as long as we can, but eventually we're gonna run out before everyone's heard the questions already. So yeah, if you can get some more movie trivia for us, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, so yeah, thank you guys for.
Well, you could also, instead
go
of
ahead.
doing it in categories, do it per night with the different categories, such as one night is action, one night is strictly comedy, one night is strictly science fiction, one night,
Yeah.
instead of trying to mix
Okay.
it. That way, when you get the people in chat, you're getting the same type of core group to answer the questions to make it more competitive, instead of just a random, we don't know what's going to come, we know it's going to be the science fiction category, and you're going to have science fiction players lined up. You're going to have
Right.
action movie players lined up. Try thinking along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, we
Mhm.
will.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
Well, thank you guys for popping in. Thank you, John, for being scorekeeper. So I'm going to go ahead and pop you guys out now, and we're going to wrap up the stream with a dramatic reading of William Shakespeare's adaptation of Star Wars.
Have a good one, guys. I'll be back. I'll be in the chat.
See you,
Sounds
buddy.
good,
Bye,
man.
all.
Thanks.
All right. So, Michael, if you need to pop off to go cook dinner, then you go ahead. I'll
Alright,
pretty
well,
much-
I guess I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, because I'll pretty much end the stream right after I do the Shakespeare. Maybe I'll do another song afterward, but who knows?
Yeah. Alright, well, see you later. Thanks again for the stream, and have a good day.
Nope, you too. And Green Lantern, send the questions to me on. Well, you and I are connected on Facebook Messenger, so yeah, send them to Facebook Messenger. All right, so like I said, we're gonna do some of the Shakespeare adaptation of Star Wars. Now, keep in mind, I am no expert on Shakespeare. I know that the way that he writes has some form of rhythm to it, and I don't know what that rhythm is, so that's probably going to sound a little bit awkward. But we're gonna do what we can with this. All right, so let's see. Start with. So I'm gonna do my best also to try and act out the scenes too, which this can only end badly. So we'll see. All right. So prologue, outer space, enter chorus. It is a period of civil war. The spaceships of the rebels, striking swift from base unseen, have gained a victory o'er the cruel galactic empire, now adrift. Amidst the battle, rebel spies prevailed and stole the plans to a space station vast, whose powerful beams will later be unveiled and crush a planet. 'Tis the Death Star blast. Pursued by agents sinister and cold, now Princess Leia to her home doth flee, delivering plans and a new hope they hold of bringing freedom to the galaxy. In time, so long begins our play, in star-crossed galaxy, far, far away. Act 1. Scene 1 aboard the rebel ship. Enter C-3PO and R2-D2. And I'm going to narrate who's talking, by the way, and what they're doing. C-3PO. Now is the summer of our happiness, made winter by this sudden fierce attack. Our ship is under siege, I know not how. Oh, hast thou heard? The main reactor falls. We shall most certainly be destroyed by this. I'll warrant madness lies therein. R2. Beep, 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 squeak, beep, 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 we. C-3PO. We're doomed. This princess shall have no escape this time. I fear this battle doth portend the end of the rebellion. Oh, what misery! Exit C-3PO and R2-D2. Chorus. Now watched amazed as swiftly through the door the army of the Empire flieth in, and as the troopers through the passage pour, they murder several dozen rebel men. That's not funny. Sam Aon, real quick, says, I need to get this book. This is brilliant. Yes. Enter rebels. Many die. Enter stormtroopers and Darth Vader. Exit. Enter R2 with Princess Leia. C-3PO is across the stage. C-3PO. Pray, R2, where art thou? Exit Princess Leia. R2. Beep, beep. C-3PO. At last, where hast thou been? I fear they come in this direction. Pray, what shall we do? My circuitry o'erloads, my mind's o'erthrown, and fear hath put its grip into my wires. We shall be sent unto that place I dread, the Kessel spice mines, whence no droid returns, and there be blasted into who knows what. R2 begins to exit. Anon, anon, R2, where dost thou go? O prithee patience, leave me not alone. Aside. I, even though I mock and injure thee, I'll surely die if ere thou leavest me. Exit the droids. Scene 2, aboard the rebel ship. Enter Vader, carrying Rebel Leader 1 by the neck, and stormtroopers. Trooper 1. The Death Star plans we could not find herein, nor are they on the main computer, Lord. In short, they are not here, and there's an end. Vader. Thou speakest well, my stormtrooper, and yet not well upon my ear the message falls. I turn to thee, thou rebel. I lift thine head above my own. Thou canst now choose to keep thy secrets locked safe in that head, and therefore lose the life thou holdest dear, or else to keep thy head, and thus thy life. My patience runneth quickly out much, like the sands across the dunes of Tatooine. So tell me, else thou diest quick, where shall we find transmissions thou didst intercept? What hast thou done, say, with those plans? Darth Vader begins to choke. Rebel Leader 1. My lord, my head and life I value, certain 'tis, yet to thee I must report. Not intercepted one transmission. This is a consular ship and nothing more. On diplomatic mission. Vader. Thou knave, with thy last breath hear thou this word. If this is but a consular ship, where is the ambassador? Rebel Leader 1 dies. Commander, prithee go. Rend thou this ship apart until the plans are found, and bring me any passengers. Upon thy life, I want them alive. Exit stormtroopers. Vader continues. And so another dies by my own hand. This hand, which now encased in blackness is. Oh, that the fingers of this wretched hand had not the pain of suffering ever known. But now my path is joined unto the dark, and wicked men, whose hands and fingers move to crush their foes, are now my company. So shall my fingers ever undertake to do more evil. I and this my hand shall do the emperor's bidding evermore. And thus we see how fingers presage, whatever it is, presage death, and hands become the instruments of fate. Exit Darth Vader. Enter stormtroopers searching. Enter Princess Leia, holding a blaster. Trooper 1. Aye, there's one, my comrades. Set for stun. Princess Leia shoots. Stormtrooper 1 dies. Stormtrooper stun Princess Leia. She shall be well. Go now, inform the dread Lord Vader we have caught a prisoner. Aside. And may Mos Eisley drinks flow swift and free when Vader grants rewards for work well done. Exit stormtroopers with Princess Leia. Enter C-3PO and R2-D2 as the latter enters escape pod. C-3PO. Hold! Thou art not permitted to go in. Deactivated thou shalt surely be. R2-D2. Beep, 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 meep. C-3PO. Thou shalt not label me a mindless brute philosopher. Nay, nay, thou overladen glob of grease, thou imp, thou rubbish bucket fit for scrap, thou blue and silver pile of bantha dung, now come, and get thee hence away, lest somebody sees. R2-D2. Beep, meep, beep, squeak, beep, 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 meep, beep, wee. C-3PO. What secret mission? And what plans? What dost thou talk about? I'll surely not go in. sound of blast. I'll warrant I'll regret this, so say I. Exit C-3PO into escape pod. R2-D2. This golden droid has been a friend, 'tis true, and yet I wish to still his prating tongue. An imp he calleth me. I'll be revenged, and merry pranks aplenty I shall play upon this pompous droid C-3PO. Yet not in language shall my pranks be done. Around both humans and the droids I must be seen to make such errant beeps and squeaks that they shall think me simple. Truly, though, although with sounds oblique I speak to them, I clearly see how I shall play my part, and how a vast rebellion, how a vast rebellion shall succeed by wit and wisdom of a simple droid. Exit R2-D2 into escape pod. Chorus. Now climb the metal pair into the pod, which shooeth from the ship like laser blast, and to the planet's face as straight as rod, the capsule takes the droids by power vast. Enter chief, pilot, and captain. There strays another one. Captain, pray hold thy fire. For certain there are no life forms aboard. And truly, what may be the chance that aught but life alone could fly within that pod? The rebels could not be so cunning bold to put the Death Star plans therein. If I were one to bet, I'd stake my life on it. All's well that endeth well, so say the wise, and so that pod shall live to land below. Exit chief pilot and captain. Enter droids aside in escape pod. 'Tis but a jest, aye, but surely we are mocked. For R2-D2 plainly canst thou see the damage looks but minor from below. Can thou be sure this pod is safe? R2-D2. Beep. C-3PO. Oh. Exit. And that's where we're going to stop for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll definitely continue that on the Sunday streams for as long as I can. It was definitely interesting to act out those scenes for you guys. Definitely a different experience. So yeah, that's pretty much the stream right there. So thank you guys for watching. And we're going to end on another song. All right, so let's see. Alan Copeland is back. He says, I'm back. Awesome. You just missed me making an absolute fool of myself reading reading Star Wars in Shakespearean. Sam Aon says, that was great. Thanks, Paul. Thank you. Maybe at some point I might do something like that on EchoBase's stream if they let me. I might reread some Shakespearean Star Wars for them, but we'll see what happens. All right. So it's not a stream unless I do a cover of Petra. So we're going to do that. So this is one that I'm going to very soon be releasing on my other channel, which is just my name, PJ Strassner. So this is one I've been working on. Green Lantern says, but thou werst a funny fool. Thank you. I don't know how to say thank you in Shakespearean, but thank you. All right, so anyways, we're going to end on this song here. This is Rose-Colored Stained Glass Windows. Another sleepy Sunday safe within the walls. Outside a dying world in desperation calls. But no one hears the cries or knows what they're about. The doors are locked within, or is it from without? Looking through rose-colored stained glass windows, never allowing the world to come in, seeing no evil and feeling no pain, making the light as it comes from within so dim, so dim. Out on your doorstep lay the masses in decay. Ignore them long enough, maybe they'll go away. When you have so much you think you have so much to lose, you think you have no back when you're really destitute. Looking through rose-colored stained glass windows, never allowing the world to come in, seeing no evil and feeling no pain, making the light as it comes from within so dim, so dim. Looking through rose-colored stained glass windows, never allowing the world to come in, seeing no evil and feeling no pain, making the light as it comes from within so dim, so dim. And you know what? I'm going to do another one. You say you've been feeling weaker, weaker by the day. You say you can't make the joy of your salvation stay. But good things come to them that wait, not to those who hesitate. So hurry up and wait upon the Lord. More power to you when you're standing on His word, when you're trusting with your whole heart in the message you have heard. More power to you when we're all in one accord. They that wait upon the Lord, they shall renew their strength. So be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Put on all His armor and fight the good fight. In all of our weakness, He becomes so strong, and He gives us the power and the strength to carry on. More power to you when we're standing on His word, when you're trusting with your whole heart in the message you have heard. More power to you when we're all in one accord. They that wait upon the Lord, they shall renew their strength. More power to you. All right, that was Rose-Colored Stained Glass Windows and More Power to Ya by Petra. And I agree, Sam Aon, this 12 string sounds absolutely amazing. I just got to get new strings for it because these are starting to wear out a little bit. So that's going to be the stream, guys. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're at about 112 subscribers right now, which is amazing. And that's all thanks to you guys. So again, thank you guys for watching this. And as always, the Force is family. By the way, I got a surprise for you guys that's going to upload right after this. So make sure you guys check that out. See you guys later.